Y'all, the San Diego Zoo saw my last video and invited a couple of friends and I to do a private tour of their safari park. Guys, the atmosphere here was so cool. It's 1,800 acres. We had an amazing tour guide. Her name was Hillary. Here she is. And one of the first things we saw was actually a deer, which is not a part of the safari park, but I love deer, so I knew the vibes were gonna be good. There was also a rhino, but we'll get back to that. These were called Lipson waterbuck, and they have a really interesting feature on their butt. Our guide was telling us it's actually used so they can easily follow and track each other in the herd. The next animals we saw were Hemsbach, and they had these crazy horns on their head. One of them actually lost a horn, and they actually had to remove the other one because symmetry is very important to these animals. After this was one of my favorite animals, the giraffe. This giraffe was actually a baby and was messing with this eland a little bit, which they don't appreciate, but this one wasn't actually reacting a whole lot to it, so it seemed like they got along. Dude, I want a pet giraffe. If I could take one home, I would. I would literally want one so bad. I was calling these things ponytails here, but our guide actually told us they're called ossicones and don't really serve a purpose for the females, but I guess the men kind of fight with them sometimes. And I told you we'd come back to the rhinos. This was a mother and daughter kind of cuddling. It was so cute. Anyways, sorry to come back to the giraffes, but this giraffe was 8 days old, literally 8 days old. It was just too cute. I'm sorry. The safari tour was so cool. There were more animals that I could even show, but after this, they took us to a new exhibit that's not even open. They were having a little trouble with the lock here, but like, it's not every day you're showing someone an exclusive look of Elephant Valley. You guys, I know it's not shocking at this point, but it was amazing, and they were talking to us about all of the plant life here. So not only were there so many animals, but there were also such a diverse group of plants here. They have over 2 million of them. And if you look down, you can see the little elephant prints in the concrete. It was so cute. We came at the perfect time because they were actually feeding the elephants when we came. I think was part of training for like health purposes and other things, but you can see in the back they also feed off of these trees. It was so cool to see how intelligent these creatures are, like nodding yes and no to things that she's saying. It was also so cool to hear how they're trying to protect a lot of these different endangered species by doing a lot of research on them. Inside the new restaurant in the exhibit, they actually made ostrich eggs into a chandelier. They talked a lot about repurposing things within the park whenever it's at the end of its life to reuse for like new purposes. They gave us a free meal, which was so delicious, and we were so hungry at this point. I particularly love these beignets, or I mean, I don't know if that's how you say it, but they're basically donuts. They're so good. Then we headed to see the rest of the park. I would 100% recommend coming here. It was so cool. Whether you do the tour or not, it'll be such a blast. Bye.